What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Wealth Not Weight. I am your host, as always, Joseph Coizza, and on this episode of Motivational Monday, we are going way back to about when I was in 5th grade and talking about the time that I was bullied. So before we get into it, I want to make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. It's going to be a little emotional, a little heart-touching, so if you guys like this kind of content, let me know, and I'll continue doing more of it. So yeah, as we talked about, I was bullied in 5th grade, and the story went kind of like this. It was 5th grade. So I walked into school, kind of normal day. It was elementary school, and there was this kid he was a shorter, kind of odd-looking kid, and had the whole nasally voice kind of thing. And he just really wasn't friends with everyone. He was a little bit of a jerk, to be completely honest with it. But the kid wasn't intentionally, an asshole or anything like that. He was just kind of socially awkward and kind of off. So, but me and him really didn't have too much contact. We would talk every now and then about something. But otherwise, we really just didn't hang out. And I was walking in the hallway one time, and he's just a little shorter of a kid. And this sort of taller, blonde-haired, kind of, big, I think who I am kind of kid came up to him. And he's like, hey, man, what's up? And he's kind of like just giving him a hard time, him and his larger friend. But yeah, so the whole thing with that was that they, I guess, didn't like him for whatever reason, for whatever they said to him. I didn't get the full story on it, but they really just didn't like him. They were kind of harassing him. They're like, oh, Red Riding Hood. He's like, you're on your way to grandma's house. I don't know what dumb bullshit he was coming up with. That was the whole thing for it. I went and enacted it. I don't know what inside joke he had going on with him. But he's kind of pushing him around, of course, calling him a bitch, telling him he's a little girl and this and that. And the whole, full pantheon of words that the 5th grade boy can come up with to insult another smaller 5th grade boy. But the whole thing was I kind of seen this and I was just like, well, that's not right. Internally I felt that this wasn't right. This shouldn't be happening for whatever. At first I thought I was messing around because, me and my friends, especially when you're 5th grade in middle school, you kind of, tease each other and you joke around. But I quickly realized they weren't messing around, and I was just like, well, something inside me was like, this, isn't right. This poor kid, is getting bullied. I immediately knew that this kid was getting bullied. So something you should know about me, obviously, is that I grew up watching superheroes and all these fantastical things, and the person stepping in to do what's right and all that. And I know it's kind of corny and cheesy, but that's how I roll. And that's helped me become the person I did today. So I walked over and I was like, hey. So I just kind of tapped him on the shoulder. I was like, pick on someone your own size. And he just kind of looked at me like, who the fuck is this dumb kid? Like, in my head, I thought I was the most badass motherfucker you could have thought of. But this kid, he's like, who the fuck is... So he's like, oh, fuck you. He goes, you're coming over here. He goes, bother me for? Get out of here. He goes, what are you, Red Riding Hood's boyfriend? He goes, come on. He goes, and then they start, obviously, harassing me, him and his friend, of course, picking on me, calling me a little girl, the whole 5th grade thing. And then he walked away afterwards, and he's just like, oh, hey, man. And like the kid kind of came up to me, and he was a little shy. He's like, you didn't have to do that. He goes, he's just a real jerk. He's an asshole. He goes, thanks, man. I appreciate it. And I was like, yeah, man, no problem. That's not right. I said, did you talk to anybody about this? Is this something that goes on a lot? And he goes, yeah. He goes, he gives me a hard time almost every day. I was like, wow, fuck, every day. And now I haven't really been bullied up to this point. And it wasn't something that really happened too much, I think, after this, during that kind of elementary school year. Now thinking about it, I think it's actually 3rd grade. 3rd grade was this. He was 5th grade. I was 3rd grade. That's okay. This is a while ago, so you guys got to, take it easy on me. But this was 3rd grade, and it's not something that really happened the rest of elementary school. But talking to him, he's like, oh yeah, it happens every day, and it's not right. And I talked to him a little bit after the fact, and then I went on my merry way, and did the whole 5th grade thing, probably coloring and gluing stuff to walls or whatever, whatever the fuck 5th graders did. And the next day, the kid kind of comes up to me and him when he was sitting there, because we walk in, you have the same kind of line. In 5th grade, they align you by your grade level. So all the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and then 5th graders, you're walking with your grade level. So, but then, the 5th graders, I guess, got in first. So then he was kind of sitting there waiting for us, and he's giving us a hard time. And he's like, oh yeah, he goes, oh, you little girls, what are you gonna do about it? He's like, you're being a bunch of bitches. And he's sitting there, of course, the whole thing. And this went on for several days. I'd say probably about 2 weeks before one day I just kind of had enough of it, and I was walking in and I was like, I'm not going to take this shit. I ain't going to take shit from no one. Fuck this guy. And I kind of pushed him. So then as we're walking, he pushes me back. So we're doing that for a little bit, and very quickly I seen he wasn't gonna back down from it. And then the only other thing that I could have thought at that moment was to escalate it, but I didn't want to take it that far. I was like, well, my next option is I punch this dude in the nose. I was like, that's kind of my next option. But I was like, no, I know if I do that, then, they made it very clear that any physical altercation, you're going to get in trouble, we're going to have to call your parents, and it's going to be a whole fucking issue. So my third grade self was like, no, fuck this, I ain't doing that. So I was like, okay, I said, here's my options. I said, I either punch him in the nose, and we have a problem, or we had this new guidance counselor, really nice, really sweet lady. She said, if I ever had an issue, go and talk to her. So I went and I talked to her. I went and I tried to talk to the kid, and the kid was very reluctant to talk to the guidance counselor about it. Obviously he's been going through this a lot more than I have, and he's a little more quiet, introverted person. I'm a very extroverted, very people person kind of thing, and he very much wasn't. So I went and I talked to the guidance counselor, and I spoke about it, and she said, okay. She goes, well, if this kid persists, please let me know, and tell me when you see him, or tell me next time you talk to him. Stop by my office, and we could find out who this kid is, and we could do it. So I'd say maybe like a couple days later, we seen him at lunch, and the fifth graders were coming in as we were leaving, and I went and I got the guidance counselor, and I told him about it, and I was like, hey, I said, here's what's up, and she goes, okay. So she went to lunch. I pointed out who it was, and then she talked to him, and she discussed it. So, and the kid looked fucking mortified. He looked like, oh my god. From the person going from being bullied to now the person who is enacting the kind of situation who's in charge here. He was just like, it was great to see. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. And that person with authority figures like, fuck you now. I went and I got somebody big. So, and essentially stood up for myself and this kid. And she went and she talked to him, and she goes, well, here's his name, here's everything. I'm not going to say it for, whatever reasons. I don't harbor any resentment to this dumb fifth grader way back when or anything like that. But they said, well, here's his name, and he said, he apologizes for it, and he's going to apologize to the other kid. He told me about his friend, because I know you pointed out his friend, and we're calling everybody's parents. Everybody's going to know about it. I already told my parents the night before that I was going to do this. I wasn't talking to him. It didn't really affect my grade or anything, so it wasn't anything like, hey, do we need to talk or anything like that. It wasn't a situation. It was just something that went on for a couple weeks, and then eventually I was like, you know what, fuck this kid. This ain't going to happen anymore. So they said, that's good. I'm very happy that you talked to me about this. But he said, you pushed him first. And I said, yeah, I did push him first. They said, okay, well, I think we could work around that, considering how you went and you talked to me and you did everything, and we can get this straightened out. And it seems like everything's going to be quelled after that. So they really did like me there. So I think they kind of, was like, all right, he's okay. So I think they kind of gave me the benefit of the doubt on that one. But they talked to him, and from what I heard, he got in trouble. And, he had a stern talking to with his family and the guidance counselor and everything. And hopefully that it kind of taught him, one, you can't go around bullying and picking on kids no matter who the fuck it is. Because guess what? You're eventually going to get fucked over. And then two, like a lot of bullies, if there is something going on with his personal life or his family life, I hope he was then able to talk to the guidance counselor about it, and the guidance counselor was then able to work through that with him by saying, hey, why are you doing this? Hey, what's going on? And then he was able to talk through him and hopefully make that situation better. So not that he doesn't do this to anybody else, but that he himself had a better life because of it. And just everything kind of quelled down after that, and I don't think I've ever told that story since. It was just something in the back of my mind. I'll remember it from time to time, but I figured on a Motivational Monday, it would be a good story to tell, and just kind of show you that the people sometimes bothering you, the people who are most vocal about your issues and your problems, you're never going to get judged by somebody doing more than you. Okay, so that's step one. If you're in business or anything, you're not going to get judged by people doing more than you are. The people who are picking at you and hurting you the most are the ones who really aren't doing anything and just like to sit there and be keyboard warriors, or just like to spit toxicity at your face. And it's best to separate yourself from them and be like, fuck them, they're not real friends, not real family, not real people that I know. I don't need them in my life. But also to feel now, I feel more like upset, because it's like now being older, I understand, I feel more upset for the kid. Being like, well, what was going on in his life? Was his family abusing him? Was, they out in the street? I don't know the situation that this kid had, that he wanted to go and just pick on this younger little kid. I mean, he could have just generally been an asshole, as I'm sure a lot of people are, so if and that's the case, then I'm sorry his life is full of that hate, and that, he has that emotional issue that he just has to be an asshole to everybody. But now more I understand. She's like, I wonder what was going on, and I feel more bad for the person who did that, because there's obviously something so much worse in their life that they have to go and take out on other people. So just know that anybody trying to spew that hate and that toxicity, you don't have to be friends with them, you don't have to talk to them, they don't need to be in your life. But just know that they got something way, way worse going on in their life than you have going on in theirs. that's why they want to shut you out. That's why they want to hurt you. Just not letting them, and maybe pushing them, or not pushing them, but guiding them towards, hey, if you ever want to get help with something, or the situation, kind of be like, here's what you could do. And if not, just separate yourself from their life and just know that, hey, I hope they figure everything out. So that's it. That's the story of the time I was bullied in elementary school. If you guys like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe I'll do more of these little story times. If you guys were ever bullied, maybe leave it in the comments, kind of talk about the experience. Probably don't include any names or anything like that, but if you're a bullied or you had an experience like this, please post it in the comments below. I love to hear from everybody. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace.